You walk into a bank, you hand over your hard-earned money, they smile, they say, "Don't worry, your money is safe with us." And you believe them. But what if I told you, the moment you deposit your paycheck, the bank takes your money, lends it to someone else, charges them 7% interest, and pays you almost nothing? By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how banks turn your savings into their fortune and what you can do about it. Let's start with something that might shock you. That money sitting in your savings account right now? It's not actually sitting there. The bank doesn't have a little box with your name on it in some vault. The second you deposit your cash, it's gone. The bank takes it, keeps a tiny fraction, and lends the rest to other people. This is called fractional reserve banking. And it means your bank might only be holding 5 to 10 cents for every dollar you deposited. The rest? It's out there making money. But not for you, for them. Here's how the math actually works. Say you deposit $1,000 into your savings account. The bank says, "Great, here's 0.01% interest." That means after an entire year, you earn 10 cents, a dime. Meanwhile, the bank takes your $1,000, lends 900 of it to someone buying a car, and charges them 7% interest. That's $63 the bank earns from your money. You got a dime. They got $63. And the worst part? This is completely legal. This is the stem. But it gets even more interesting than that. Because the bank doesn't just lend your money once. They lend it over and over and over again. Here's how. You deposit $1,000. The bank keeps 100 and lends out 900. That 900 gets deposited into someone else's account at another bank. That second bank keeps 90 and lends out 810. And that 810 gets deposited somewhere else. This cycle repeats again and again. By the end, your original $1,000 has created almost $10,000 in loans across the banking system, all from your single deposit. This is called the money multiplier effect, and it's the engine that makes banks incredibly profitable. Now you might be thinking, okay, but at least my money is safe, right? Well, mostly. But here's where things get uncomfortable. Banks are essentially making a bet. They bet that all of their customers won't ask for their money back at the same time. And most of the time, that bet works. People leave their money in the bank. They use cards instead of cash. Nobody rushes in to withdraw everything. But sometimes that bet fails. Remember 2008? When the housing market collapsed, banks had lent out billions in risky mortgages. When people couldn't pay those mortgages back, banks started running out of money. Customers panicked. They lined up outside banks trying to get their cash. This is called a bank run. And when it happens, the bank literally does not have enough money to give everyone back what they deposited. Because remember, they only kept 5 to 10%. The rest was lent out. During 2008, over 400 banks failed in the United States alone. Regular people lost their savings, not because they did anything wrong, but because the bank gambled with their money and lost. Now, most people hear this and say, well, that's what the FDIC is for. And they're right, partially. The FDIC insures your deposits up to $250,000. So if your bank collapses, the government steps in and covers your money. But here's what most people don't realize. The FDIC insurance fund has enough money to cover roughly 1% of all insured deposits. 1%. If multiple big banks failed at the same time, the FDIC would run out of money fast. They'd need the government to step in with taxpayer money, your money. Bailing out the banks? That lost your money. Think about that for a second. But here's where this story takes a turn you probably didn't expect. Banks aren't just making money from your deposits. That's actually the old game. The real money comes from fees. Overdraft fees, maintenance fees, ATM fees, wire transfer fees, late payment fees. American banks collected over $100 billion in fees in a single year. That's not interest income. That's not from lending. That is pure fee revenue pulled directly from customers' pockets. And overdraft fees alone? Almost $8 billion a year. That means people who are already short on money are paying the most to the bank. The people who can least afford it are the bank's most profitable customers. Let that sink in. So the question becomes, why do we just accept this? And the answer is honestly kind of brilliant on the bank's part. They've made the system feel normal. You need a bank account to get paid. You need one to pay rent. You need one to exist in modern society. They've made it so you can't opt out. And because everyone does it, nobody questions it. It's the perfect trap, not because it's hidden, but because it's everywhere. Now, I'm not telling you to stuff your money under your mattress. That would be worse. Inflation would eat it alive. But here's what smart people do differently. First, they stop leaving large amounts of money in traditional savings accounts, earning almost zero interest. High-yield savings accounts exist right now, paying 4 to 5%. That same $1,000 that earned you a dime at your regular bank, it could earn you $40 to $50 in a high-yield account. Same safety, same FDIC insurance. $40 to $50 versus 10 cents. And yet most people never switch because their bank never tells them this option exists. Why would they? They're making too much money off your ignorance. Second, smart people understand that the bank is a tool, not a partner. The bank is not on your side. They are a business. Their job is to maximize profit. Your job is to minimize what they take from you. Check every fee, negotiate everything, and never assume the default option they give you is the best one. It almost never is. Third, and this is the big one, smart people make their money work the way banks do. Banks take money and put it into assets that generate returns. You can do the same thing. Instead of letting your money sit and earn a dime, you can invest it. Index funds, real estate, even bonds. The point is, every dollar sitting in a zero-interest account is a dollar working for the bank, not for you. Here's the truth nobody wants to tell you. The entire banking system is designed to move money from people who don't understand it to people who do. Banks understand money better than almost anyone on the planet, and they use that knowledge to quietly extract wealth from millions of people every single day. Not through fraud, not through theft, through a system so normal, so accepted, so invisible, that most people will go their entire lives without questioning it. But now you know. You know that your savings account is a piggy bank for the bank, not for you. You know that the fees they charge are a second income stream built on your back. You know that the interest they pay you is an insult compared to what they earn from your deposits. And most importantly, you know you have options. The bank isn't evil, but it isn't your friend either. It's a machine designed to generate profit, and the less you understand about how that machine works, the more profit it generates from you. If this changed how you think about your money, hit that subscribe button. Because every video on this channel is designed to pull back the curtain on the systems that quietly take your money so you can finally start keeping more of it.